The idea of this live came from a question I had this afternoon. Somebody was unhappy with her hostings, with the service given for hosting her website. And I mean, it's not a cheap hosting. It's an all-including hosting with service management and everything. And I gave her this little tip to get a quick uh, diagnostic, which is made by an app from Google. So since Google is serving all the search, most of the search, and a lot of the technology of the web, it's really agnostic, and it can't be opposed to anyone. So I want to demonstrate how to do this little diagnostic. So I am going to share my screen, and I presume that you have Chrome installed. Chrome is a browser from Google. It's free, and I mean, 90% of the users of internet today are using Chrome anyway. And to be perfectly fair and remove any impact from plugins or past history or whatever, the best is to open an incognito window. So the incognito window is, if you look here, you will have here new incognito window. We are already in the incognito window. We can see it because it's black. And I'm just going to paste the link on the website. That's her website. So it's loading. We see it takes a few, like 1 or 2 seconds, but it could be a little bit longer because there are still things loading here. You see the pictures here are not yet loaded. Now they are loaded. Okay. And the tool is called, you find it here. So you click on the 3 dots. It's only available on, look into developer tools here, last option. So it could happen that it opens not on the side of the window. Sometimes it opens as a pop-up, or doesn't matter so much. I mean, how it works is the same. And here it happens also very often that if you open it the first time, it will open on the element tab or the source tab or the console tab or whatever. So you click on the 2 brackets here, the 2 chevrons, and you go to Lighthouse. Lighthouse is the name of the tool. Okay, now we are on Lighthouse. We are not going to change any settings. It's looking for the navigation. It's emulating the situation on mobile, which is the best because it's the hardest. So it gives the worst, the situation with the worst condition. And we want to check for the performance, accessibility, best practice, search engine optimization, progressive web app. The last one, progressive web app, well, it's at the end anyway, but it's not something that most of us will use. We could uncheck it. Doesn't matter much, but we could uncheck it. Let's uncheck it just to be totally fair. And then we just click Analyze Page Load. And it starts. So it's not taking into account what was already loaded before. It's starting like if it was on a new computer, on a fresh setup. And you can see that it's not very fast, but there is one reason, which is that it's really processing one thing after the other, but the computation will be done as if the connection was fast. Let's say they are emulating the average connection. And they actually give you a little bit of information here in this while they do. Lighthouse is gathering information about the page. Lighthouse is, etc., etc. is gathering new generating your report. Almost there. Okay, and now we get it. So obviously, if it's red, it's not good. If it's yellow, it's acceptable. If it's green, it's good. What happens? For all of these 4 indicators, 90 is reasonably easy to reach for anybody doing web design as a practice. 80 is something you get almost at all time if you are using modern tools, even if you are not very careful. So, of course, the website is hosted in the US. I'm in France, so the distance will impact. But it's not at this point. I mean, if it was 70 or 60, you could say, okay, maybe that's France. But 36, it's really bad. We have something wrong somewhere. So, the 4 criteria: performance. And there you have the metrics. And this is interesting to keep, because if somebody is making change on your website, you want to check if this is improving or not. And here you have like a time lapse of the load of the website. And here we have the diagnostic. So each of these are pain points. Things like if you bring your car to the mechanic and they tell you it lacks oil, it's using too much petrol, it's polluting too much, and so on. It's exactly the same. It's just one check. Is it good? Not. If it's red, it's not good. So this is a list of points. And if you want to go to your service provider who is providing your hosting or management, these are all points you should raise. Why is it not good? Why is it not that? Why is it not that? And so on. See, it's a long list. Of course, not everything is easy to check and not everything is easy to fix, but there are surely a certain number of things that can be checked. And here we have less important items, which are not in red, but still not especially good. Okay, that was for the performance. Now, accessibility. Accessibility covers everything that makes the website easy to use for everybody. On a desktop, on a mobile, people with disability. The disability, always remember, disability can be permanent, somebody who has really a problem, or it can be temporary because of an injury, or it could be totally contextual because it's late in night, you are tired, you are driving, your device has a little battery, and so you are obliged to use less light, and so on. Everything of this kind falls into accessibility. So 68 is not super good. And this is really something which is easy to fix. So we have a certain number of examples, and one of them is contrast. Contrast is a classical problem. Look at the Learn More here, at the button Learn More, which is the CTA. I mean, that's normally the most important part on the page. That's where the user is going to click if they are convinced and interested by what they read just before. But this is pale white on a pale blue background with cloud. It's not very visible. And it becomes even less visible if you hover on it, because then we have a pale gray background. Okay, that's not very good. Now, that's all about accessibility. And then we have best practice. Best practice is just, if you are providing a website, there are a certain number of things you should take care of, because it's easy. It's just applying the best practice, and you get it. There's nothing clever in that. So one of the things that they notice is that the page is not totally secure. There is at least one item which is not secure. We don't know which one. Seems it's a problem of cookie, etc. But you don't need to go so far. I mean, you know that 81, it's not bad, but I mean, it should be 90. SEO, well, strange enough, Google is not very interested in SEO, which is surprising considering it's their core job. But what they ask is, links don't have a descriptive text. That's important because the descriptive text is what is going to show up if you hover on the links, and it will help the visitor to know what they can expect if they click on the link. And if you see all the links, they don't have any hint of what is going on. Mobile friendly, the buttons are too small. If I was looking at the website in mobile, you can switch to mobile view automatically here, clicking on this small icon where you see your desktop and a mobile. Up, you click, you get it. Okay, and now you have a little bit the size of the finger, and you can see, for example, that this button is not much larger than the finger, so it's not very easy to click on it. And maybe you see the text, or maybe a little bit too near. Well, that's all kind of things which are impacting the mobile experience. And if it's not mobile friendly, then Google will downgrade it in the result, in the search engine result page when you search for the keywords. If there is a mobile friendly website, it will come first, even if you're not in mobile. Okay, so that's a little bit what you can get from Lighthouse. It's free, it's available on every Chrome, and you can easily turn it and use it. You don't need special training. I mean, you just got the training. Basically what you have now was the training. There is not much more to learn about it. What is interesting is to capture, to take maybe a screenshot of the report and to compare. Let's say if somebody is working on your website, you can have a before and then you check the after and you compare if there are improvements on all those 4 factors: performance, accessibility, best practice, and SEO. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.